Distributing goods and services is an ever-increasing need. Scientists continue to seek ways to fuel transportation vehicles with new sources, such as biofuels.
What are biofuels?
Biofuels are renewable energy sources from organic materials, such as plants or microscopic animals, such as algae, that are converted directly into liquid fuels. The two most common biofuels in use today are ethanol and biodiesel.
How is ethanol made?
It's made by fermenting biomass, or organic materials that are high in carbohydrates, such as corn or switchgrass. Fermentation occurs when bacteria is used to break down the plant material. Biofuels are mostly made from starches and sugars. But new technologies are using cellulose, which is the fibrous material, such as the corn cob, that makes up most plant life. The majority of ethanol currently produced is made from corn. The process can be difficult due to the complex structure of the plant matter, especially lignin. Scientists are researching better solutions to utilize the vast amounts of biomass, such as grasses, wood chips, and agricultural waste, to produce fuels like ethanol.
What is ethanol used for?
Ethanol is used mostly mixed with gasoline to increase octane rating and cut down carbon monoxide and other smog-causing emissions from cars. The energy content of ethanol is greater than the fossil fuel energy used to produce it. In recent years, the amount of energy required to produce ethanol from corn has decreased significantly as a result of improved farming techniques, more efficient fertilizers and pesticides, and higher-yielding crop varieties. A U.S. Department of Energy study predicted that agriculture can produce enough ethanol to offset 30% of U.S. gasoline consumption by the year 2030. However, increased biofuel production does create some controversy. Some argue that using food crops, such as corn, for biofuels may be problematic because when fuel prices rise, so do food prices as a result of the increased cost in production and transportation.
Can we use plants or trees that are not used for food?
Yes, scientists are also using algae and poplar trees to produce biofuels. Poplar trees are common as ornamental trees. They're used in a variety of products, including paper and several wood products such as pallets, snowboards, guitars, matches, and chopsticks. Poplars are useful because they grow large very quickly and take root readily from cuttings. They're easily planted and harvested for biofuel production. However, producing ethanol from wood cellulose is more challenging than using starch or sugars. In producing cellulosic ethanol, feedstock materials must initially be broken down into their component sugars for fermentation. This process is called biochemical conversion.
Essentially, what we want to do is recover that cellulose from the plant biomass, take that cellulose and break it down into the simple sugar monomers that from the minimum basic component of these polymers, and take that sugar as the starting material for organisms like yeast and bacteria to convert it to a fuel. Ethanol, of course, but other higher fuels as well.
Sandia Laboratories focuses on using non-food biomass, essentially the waste products of nature, corn stalk, grass clippings, and wood chips, to produce biofuels. Sandia uses enzymatic engineering to break down these products and isolate the cellulose.
Potentially, if we look at those amino acid sequences in those enzymes and discover the fundamental aspects of how those enzymes carry out their work in such a efficient fashion, and then program those learnings into synthetically developed enzymes which we can then put in industrial processes. Those are the kinds of things that we're interested in doing.
Using computer simulations, scientists are able to track improvements and map changes in the enzymes.
How do scientists use algae to make biofuels?
Good question. Microscopic algae, or microalgae, is emerging as a viable source in the production of liquid transportation biofuels. Microalgae are single-cell photosynthetic organisms known for their rapid growth and high energy content. Using the sun's energy, these microorganisms combine carbon dioxide with water, creating biomass more efficiently and rapidly than plants. Oil-rich microalgae strains are capable of producing the feedstock for a number of transportation fuels: biodiesel, green diesel, gasoline, and jet fuel, while offsetting carbon dioxide released from sources such as power plants.
Why is algae a good idea for biofuels?
Because almost the entire algal organism can use sunlight to produce lipids, it can produce up to 100 times more oil per acre than conventional crops, such as rapeseed or soybeans. Algae has an average harvesting cycle of 1 to 10 days, a very short time frame. Algae can also be grown in areas that are not suitable for other established crops, for instance, arid land and drought-stricken land, and it can grow 20 to 30 times faster than food crops.
How does algae become fuel?
To harvest algae for biofuels, scientists pump nutrient-rich water through plastic or borosilicate glass tubes called bioreactors that are exposed to sunlight. Because algae strains with lower lipid content grow much faster than those with high lipid content, scientists strive to find a combination of high lipid content and fast growth rate that isn't too difficult to harvest, and a cost-effective cultivation system or type of photobioreactor that is best suited to that strain. Growing algae for biofuels requires concentrated CO2, or carbon dioxide. So it has been proposed that bioreactors be placed near power plants that release CO2. Solazyme is a company based out of San Francisco, California, that takes carefully selected strains of algae and through patented processes manipulates them to increase their yield and produce the exact types of oils their customers want. What Solazyme does, which no one has ever done before, is create customized oils, producing virtually any oil structure desired.
What different types of oil do they make?
They produce the perfect oil for diesel fuel, different oils for hydraulics, lubricants, and industrial fluids, other perfect oils for detergents and soaps, and countless more for consumer, industrial, and specialty products. Algenol is an industrial biotechnology company located in Southwest Florida that is commercializing its patented algae technology platform for production of ethanol and green chemicals. Their patented direct-to-ethanol technology enables the production of ethanol for less than $1 per gallon using sunlight, carbon dioxide, and salt water. The low production costs and high yields are achievable because direct-to-ethanol does not involve killing or harvesting algae.
How does the process start?
At Algenol, the algae starts its life in an inoculation suite, a room with bright fluorescent lights. They grow algae with extra productive enzymes in bottles. As they grow, they're put in bags that are pumped full of carbon dioxide to accelerate growth. They are then transferred to bigger bags outside under protective sunscreens. Later, they're moved to areas with thinner screens to acclimate them to the intense Florida sun. And finally, they are moved into the bioreactor, where instruments measure light, pH, CO2, and oxygen levels. The Department of Energy granted Algenol funding to build a 36-acre facility with 3,000 bioreactors. The facility also houses advanced vapor compression steam stripper ethanol concentration technology and new membrane-based ethanol dehydration technology. They have a target capacity of approximately 100,000 gallons of fuels-grade ethanol per year. Algenol's expanding venture includes 50,000 square feet of molecular biology, culture collection, physiology, aquaculture, bioreactor fabrication, and engineering laboratories.
How can I get a job working in biofuels?
Careers in this field can be exciting and rewarding. The degree required is usually a bachelor's degree in chemistry, biochemistry, microbiology, chemical engineering, or a related field. These fields will prepare you to understand the chemical processes necessary for creating biofuels. In addition, research in these fields is exploding as scientists search for fuels that are better for our environment. As our populations increase and our demand on energy follows suit, scientists work vigorously to find alternative energy sources. With improvements in technology, biofuels will surely contribute to solving our ever-increasing demand for fuel.